Hello everyone, this is Powerless again for another brief video in my video series. In this series I'll be discussing the community and how I believe it can best prepare for the launch of Halo 5 Guardians. In the last video I discussed the comparisons between military UNSC communities and how they will both be able to adapt and effectively utilize the influx of members that come with the launch of a new major Halo title. In this video, I'll be discussing in-game activities such as raids and clan battles, etc., and how I believe those may be improved to be more appealing to incoming members from a broader Halo community as a whole. In this video, I won't so much be discussing as to how to improve the actual raid game mode. I've discussed how I believe raids can be improved via one flag or one bomb. That's posted a video I discussed a couple months back, or probably a year back at this point, so I'll link that in the description below if you want to go watch that. But in that video I go more into depth as to why I believe the current raid system, the raid game type, is flawed and how we can improve that. In this video I won't be discussing that so much in detail. I'll be discussing how we might be able to change the broader raid system and why I believe the current raid system is flawed and not as appealing to incoming Halo members as it could be. So with that out of the way, let's get started. I believe to first understand as to why the current raid system is unappealing, we need to first understand what the average Halo online player is. The average Halo player, when they go into matchmaking, what do they experience? They experience game modes that have clearly defined objectives of some sort. They play Slayer, it has a score limit. They play flag or bomb or territories, etc. There's clearly defined win objectives, right? The two teams at the end of the game don't meet and come to agreement and say like, oh, we won, right? The game tells you who won. And I think that's important in that the average Halo member, the average Halo player has a gaming experience where the game tells them who won. The community we're in is entirely unique, and really I haven't seen any other Halo community like it, where the game doesn't tell you who won. In raids, the game doesn't tell you. The score limit's useless in a raid. I'm sure everybody knows this by now, right? The score limit is entirely irrelevant to the outcome of the raid. Raids are defined by who took the base or who lost the base, etc. I'm not going to explain raids because everybody who watches this video probably already knows what a raid is. So, but I think we can understand the real difference as to what makes raids different than the average Halo gameplay experience. And I think it's important to understand, right, that the community offers a super minority experience. This isn't the standard Halo, and we look at the broader population of over 1 million people. This is a percentile of the broader Halo community. I think that's a really important distinction to make. This is literally 1/10 of 1% or something like that of the broader Halo community. Now, we need to look at this one of two ways, right? We can either change the community entirely to competitive and match the broader Halo and really lose the identity of the clan community we are, or we can maintain the current standards and be different. And I think the danger in doing either or, in either going entirely, if we go to entirely match the average Halo experience, we'll obviously lose the current raid format, which everybody enjoys. Even though I'm not a personal fan of it, but everybody enjoys raids, right? So I don't think it's even a real option for anybody in the community to transition entirely to strictly competitive gameplay styles, right? However, I think there's a danger that if we keep the raids format exactly how it's done now, I think there's a danger that once again we're missing out on recruitment opportunities. Now I understand that in Halo Reach, early Halo Reach, the raid format is similar to how it was now, and we still had a large influx of players. So the clear objection argument would be like, okay, well, we were already successful when we transitioned to Halo Reach. There's no reason to believe this won't be successful in Halo 5. Yes, that's true, but I think there is a significant amount of people that we could gain if we just made some small changes. It's also important to note that raids as they stand now, in September 2015, are dissimilar to raids as they stood in 2011. Raids as they stand now have gotten to be much longer affairs. In 2011, you'd be it'd be extremely uncommon to see a raid that lasted 3, 4, 5 hours. At most, raids probably 1 or 2 hours. And now they've been stretched out because clans, I believe it's a trend I've identified, where it's like clans don't necessarily want to focus on the individual skill of the players. They just want to focus on member count. So they stretch out raids to be able to utilize higher member rotation. That's really relevant. But I think the major way that we can improve raids to make them more objective, in the sense that there's a clearly defined winner, even though we won't have the game define it as to who won the game, I think the easiest way to do this would be to have a 2-leg raid system. And I'll explain this real quickly. It's a pretty easy idea, where Clan A will raid Clan B. Clan A will attack, Clan B will defend. Clan B will use their map. So Clan A joins Clan B's game, and they attack. They take the base. Clan A claims they won. That's how current raids work, correct? I think the change I would make is that once the first game is over, right, you make the exact same game with the exact same map, except Clan B is now attacking on the exact same map. So Clan B is attacking Clan A on the exact same map they were just playing on. And if Clan B wins this, then it's a wash. So it's effectively a 2-leg system. People who watch European soccer are familiar with this, where it's like a 2-leg system. And the idea is that it doesn't necessarily, if Clan A can take the base, but they also lose, but Clan B can also take the base, then it's a tie. And I think the real distinction here is that it places value on, once again, on skill without losing the current raid format. In order for this to work, there'd have to be a set time limit, obviously. So it'd be something like a raid might last for 2 hours, where Clan A is attempting to take the map from Clan B. The game ends, and then they switch, and Clan B attacks Clan A. As I said, like, these are the exact same raids we currently experience. There's no change to the game mode at all, unlike the video I proposed before. So there's no real difference in how the average clan member experiences those raids. It's a difference in how they're counted by clan leaders towards victories or whatnot, where you have to be able to defend and attack the base better than the opposing enemy. I think the improvement this makes is it discourages clans from using super overpowered maps, in that sure, the map might be easy to defend, but the same clan also has to attack this map. So it discourages them from making super overpowered maps that are one-sided in every way. It also really negates the need for super specific rules where you need like 1 or 2 snipers or exactly 3 rocket launchers and stuff like that, because as I said, since you're going to be attacking this base, you're going to make the game reasonable so that you have a chance to win. So it really removes the requirement for super specific rules of engagement, and instead encourages fair play. I think that's a distinction that having a 2-leg system would really benefit the community as a whole. Although this isn't a strictly objective game mode where it is like you have a hard Slayer limit or a hard flag cap limit, it does, for a new member joining in, people explain like, okay, well, we attack this base and then we defend it, and whoever, if we win both, then we win this raid. If we lose both, then we lost. If we win one, tie the other, then we tie. And I think that's far easier to explain to the average new person joining in the community than to say, okay, we're going to attack this team, and this map might be super overpowered, or this team's going to attack us, and our map is super overpowered, so realistically they have no chance of taking this base at all. But we're going to claim a win anyways, right? And this I think the thing that makes the community so unappealing to new people coming in is that raids don't seem fair. People might claim they're fair, right? This has been claimed forever. But I think the problem people have is raids don't seem fair. I think having a 2-leg system, it makes the fairness it encourages fair play in clans. I think that's a real important distinction we should try to move towards if the community is not interested in moving towards 1 flag or 1 bomb objectives, or anything other than free-for-all slayer, then I think the next best option is to encourage fair play in the means I've just discussed. As I said, it's a super minute change. The average base level clan member running in there with a DMR or BR shooting guns won't experience any difference at all in the way he experiences clans. It's simply a difference in the way clan leaders approach clans and how they count clan victories, clan losses, etc. So it's a small change, but I think it's an important change that we should seriously consider before Halo 5. That's really the summary for this video. It's super brief, as I said. It's mainly just me rambling about random topics I think are important, try to find interesting. So I'd like to hear your comments below. I've discussed raids before. Clan leaders and community figures as a whole tend to be very dismissive of adjustments to the way clans raid or the actual clan interaction system as a whole. So I think I would like to see people's feedback as to what they think, how they believe this system might be detrimental to the community and how it might be harmful. Or if they do agree with it, then to voice support, and we'll see if we can get something going here. As said, brief video. In part 3, I'll be discussing the metagame of clans, which is diplomacy, foreign affairs, etc. So look forward to that coming down the pipeline. Thank you for your time. This is Power out.